Well, I may have gone a little too far into this thing to actually make money now. So before we get this video started off, a lot of people still ask me about the blue Foxbody that I built. If you're new to the channel and don't know, I bought a 1986 Mustang Coupe, the four-eyed Fox. It was a 4-cylinder, and I completely ripped out the drivetrain, and I did a 347 stroker, 5-speed, 8.8 rear. Got the car painted. The car looked amazing. I wish I never got rid of it, but you know, something told me to just kind of move on from it. But anyway, the guy that bought the car, I still keep in touch with him pretty regularly. He has taken the car in a completely opposite direction. The car, I mean, it is a pretty bad race car. He just finished it up. The thing is going to be a force to be reckoned with, you know, in the race car scene. So I got a couple videos here. I asked him, he said, no problem, I can link him in. I'm not going to share any of his numbers or anything with you. I'm not sure what he's going to be doing with it as far as like no time or anything like that. But the car makes some power. The car hooks. And once he gets it finally all dialed in and straightened out, gets used to the car, this thing is going to be a really, really bad race car. So anyway, check out these videos. Anyway, guys, so that's where the car has been. I'm gonna try and get, you know, try and hook up with him here in the future, and you know, see it in person so I can actually video it, and you know, him, you know, doing stuff to it and racing it and stuff. But if you're interested in that, you know, be on the lookout. Hopefully here this summer, when everything, you know, hopefully clears up, we can get out to the racetrack and you know, see this thing run. So anyway, guys, let's get into the video. So I did actually get rid of the blue Mustang for this sweet F-250 Power Stroke. Been using it a lot. I got the trailer, I've been towing stuff, hauling stuff, moving stuff. Really, really, really love this truck. This Power Stroke diesel is amazing. This is just the XLT model. Biggest thing I wanted was the Power Stroke, obviously, but it also has a lot of the other cool features like the big radio, heated seats, and all that good stuff. So I actually got to put the straps away from bringing the car back the other day. I just threw them on the ground and I didn't pick them up. What's wrong, Stella? Oh, you. All right, guys, so I'm going to get going here on this engine. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but it is pretty oily. Back here, probably probably more than likely the valve covers were seeping some oil. Other than that, like I said, the engine actually ran really well. There was just a lot of oil all over the place. This side, you can see it real bad. I mean, oil all over everything. I think it was mostly coming from the power steering pump, which sits right here. It sits right up there. So, and these cars are notorious for having them. However, I mean, I didn't want this kind of fire hazard going on. You know, that's the last thing I need is for an exhaust manifold to catch on fire and then the whole car goes up. So I'm just gonna take it down. I don't think I'm taking the heads off unless I see something that just looks out of place. So I'm gonna take at least the valve covers off and probably the intake, and then we'll go from there. So far, it looks pretty good. I don't see any signs of any type of wear or anything like that. So I'm gonna let this thing fully drain out and keep moving. All right guys, so I got the engine down about halfway. Starting to see some kind of minor issues with it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in here. There you can kind of see it. That's the valve stem seal. And it's not supposed to be up the valve stem like that. So pretty much all of them are like that. So I'm gonna pull these heads off. I'm gonna get the, they're just E7 heads, so I'm probably gonna look for a cheap set of, you know, GT40 heads or something. If not, like I said, this is kind of budget. I'm probably just going to waste the money and get these freshened up and throw them right back on the car. We'll see, you know, it depends on what I can find. I'm not in any real rush with this, so if I can come across something that's a little better than stock, like a GT40 head or something like that, then I'll definitely go ahead and go with that. So yeah, and then so I'm gonna get the heads off and pull the cam out. I'll probably pull the whole thing down tonight. I mean, at this point, I'm this far, I might as well just go all in and at least freshen up the whole motor, so then it's a completely rebuilt in. Anyway guys, I'm gonna continue to get dirty here for a little while longer, and then pick back up with you here in a little bit. All right guys, so I got the heads off. Pistons don't look bad. The only thing that bothers me is, so each cylinder has this wear ring right here. Not the one at the top, that's just where the top ring basically ends when the piston fires. But this right here, I know you can't tell, but where my finger is going, there's an indent. So basically, I mean, if I throw rings in this thing, like this one's real bad. I can feel it really bad right there. That's definitely gotta be a few thousandths of an inch. So, all right guys, so this is one of those things. Like I said, I'm trying to flip this car. I'm not really trying to build it for myself as of right now. So it's one of those things where, do I waste the time and put new pistons, you know, piston ring, or just leave it, throw it back together with the heads refreshed so it stops blowing oil. But when I did drain the oil, there was a significant amount of fuel in the oil pan, and I'm gonna assume it's blowing by those rings. I mean, this thing's at 88. I'm sure it's got 200,000 miles on it. So, I mean, what do? Do I look for stock replacement parts? Obviously, I'm gonna have to punch the thing out to maybe 306 or larger, 308 maybe. But with that, pistons, rods, crank, now we're talking money. And that's not really what I was trying to do with this. I'm glad I did tear it down. You know, granted, I could have easily just slapped the thing together and sent it on the way, but that's not the way I am. I like to fix things the right way, especially if I have it apart. I hate when people just throw stuff back together, like whatever, let somebody else worry about it. So we're gonna see. Maybe a freshly built, you know, maybe a stroker motor or freshly built 306 is gonna up the value, depending upon what I even put in it. Could be, you know, good set of heads, good cam, maybe something that's 450 horsepower is really gonna appeal to someone and fetch me, you know, 10 grand, depending on how well I paint the car. I don't know. I'm gonna continue to tear it down. Yeah, I just pulled the cam out of the car. The one that was in this is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the E303 Ford Racing cam. Honestly, it's just one of those like streetable upgraded cams, but to me an E-cam isn't even worth it because you don't really get the idle, and I don't think it really nets you a whole lot of performance gain. So we got the piston and rods out of the engine. Honestly, this engine's pretty tired, not gonna lie. And it shows some of these rods, as you can see, the discoloration. So it should all be silver. We got a bunch that are bronze. A couple of them, this last one I pulled out even has a nice little groove in it. So, I mean, you know, the engine probably has, you know, been run hard since 1988. But overall, not really too terrible. Like, as you guys saw, the engine, you know, even though it was a small idle clip, it ran pretty good. I mean, you could tell when I drove it down the road, aside from the clutch, it was definitely kind of a dog. But I mean, who knows how much mileage this thing has on it. I think, you know, the guy said 155,000, but who knows if it's even more. You know, these cars, people buy them, they run them into the ground, and then they send them off to the next guy, and he runs them into the ground, and then they send them off to the next guy, and they run them into the ground. Kind of knocked it loose already. Oh yeah, these things have been, they've seen some miles. That's for sure. Come on. Oh man, yep. So that one's got a nice little groove in it. But yeah, safe to say, that one's not bad. But then again, there's not really. That's the worst one out of the mains. As you can see, the engine on this thing is a little rough. You know, it's seen better days. But like I said, things have been running hard its whole life, I'm sure. This is why I would advise people against buying one of these cars, especially if you want to keep it for a while, and then just starting to mod it. You know, throwing a cam at it, throwing heads on it. Because chances are these things have been run through super hard and you're on borrowed time as it is. I mean, I know you guys are probably thinking, Dan, why are you doing all of this or any of this if you're just gonna try and flip the car and make money? Two reasons. One, I enjoy it. It gives me something to do, especially in times like this. Obviously things are a little crazy, but aside from that, I just really enjoy putting my hands on machinery, you know, working on engines, equipment, whatever. Second thing is, I don't like putting things together the incorrect way. So that's why I'm gonna do it. I wanna build this thing so that this way I can say, hey, this thing has a fresh rebuilt engine. I built it, everything is new. And honestly, I think it will increase the value of the car, depending upon what I actually do to it. So guys, that's where I'm at right now. A couple decisions to make. Like I said, I'm gonna start cleaning, wiping everything down, sanitizing everything, getting the oil off everything, and make my decision then. If you guys want, feel free to drop comments on what you think I should do. Again, I'm just trying to, at this time, flip this car. I'm trying to flip it for the most profit that I can. So, I mean, should it be budget build, 302, you know, maybe how that block is, I definitely think it needs to be opened up a little bit, at least to 306. And I mean, at that point, you're doing new pistons and stuff like that. So that's kind of where, like, okay, now we're sinking money into it, where I can sink that money into something else and see more benefits on the back end. So anyway, guys, let me know. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't checked me out on Instagram, @RegularGuyGarage. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.